Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend. Your week's getting off to a good start, and we'll get that started hopefully a little better this morning by taking in a little of God's Word. We'll be picking up in the 71st Psalm today, and David prays a prayer that all of us can identify with this morning. Some people may not think they can quite yet, but you will. This is a prayer about growing old, getting some age on you. And there may be some of you listening this morning that think, well, that doesn't apply to me. Well, it may not today, but it won't take long. And you'll find out how quickly age creeps up on you. And David has certainly discovered that after having an illustrious career as a warrior and king, soldier. He is now getting to the point where age has caught up with him. And he is going to pray in these few verses I think, especially an appropriate prayer as we age, as he begins in verse 9 here by praying, "Cast me not off in the time of old age." And David, I think, is talking about something specific, and I'm going to go in a little bit different direction than I think David was talking about. As he goes on in that verse, he says, "Forsake me not when my strength faileth." As his physical strength failed as he aged, he asked God here to be with him. To continue to protect him and provide for him as he had done throughout David's life. He prays that God would not cast him off. And I think David was specifically talking about, again, he is still king. He is still the leader of the nation, and I think David was specifically talking about that God would continue to strengthen him, continue to guide him, give him wisdom as he led the nation. But I think a side note to that, and what I kind of think of when I hear that phrase, "cast me not off in the time of my old age," is I think perhaps David was also not only praying for strength and protection, but Lord, don't set me aside. Lord, don't cast me off. Keep me in the game. Keep me in the battle. And I hope that's your prayer today, whatever age you are, because whatever age you are today, you'll be a little older tomorrow and the next day. And so old age, if you're lucky, all of us will grow to old age. And I hope our prayer is that, Lord, I don't ever want to be cast off. I always want to be useful in your kingdom. I have heard older Christians make the statement, something to this effect. Well, I did this and this and this in the church when I was younger, but I'm old now. Let the young people do it. And there's some validity to that statement. If you're talking about playing on the church softball team, well, maybe that is something for somebody a little younger to do. Maybe you can't chase after the preschoolers anymore. Maybe you can't. Maybe as we age, our eyes get a little weaker. Maybe we can't work in crafts in Bible school like we one time did. But I think that we need to pray regardless, God, if I'm still breathing, if I still have life in me, I want to be useful in some way in your kingdom. I want to be used some way, somehow. I may not can teach the youth anymore. I may not can teach the children's department anymore, but Lord, I can sit home And I can send notes and greeting cards to shut-ins, to sick people. I can make phone calls and encourage people. There's always somewhere, I believe, that God can use us. And I think that's part of what David is praying here. Lord, I know I can't do the things I one time did as king, as soldier, as warrior in your kingdom. I know I can't do some of the have some of the great heroic. I probably maybe shouldn't be out battling Goliath anymore. But Lord, I can still be useful in your kingdom. And I hope you're praying that today. I hope that's your desire, regardless of your age, your health. If you're sick and in the hospital, tell the nurse about Jesus. Find some way to continue to be useful. And David tells us here in verse 10 why he feels that way. As in this next section, he says, "For mine enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, saying, God hath forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. O God, be not far from me. O my God, make haste for my help. Let them be confounded and consumed that are adversaries to my soul. Let them be covered with reproach and dishonor that seek my hurt." And so David says, let's put this all together. "Cast me not off in time of old age. Forsake me not when my strength faileth." And then verse 10, "For," or because, "mine enemies speak against me." And David says something that's very important here. He says, I may be old, and I may not be able to do the things I one time did. I may not be the soldier, the warrior that I was in my younger days, but my enemies are still attacking. I still have an enemy. They still lay wait on my soul. And look what he says here in verse 11. He says, saying, God hath forsaken him, persecute and take him. David says, mine enemies are watching, and they say that God has forsaken me, let's attack him now. And what David's prayer is now that I'm older, now that I have, now that maybe I can't do some of the things that I used to could, he's saying, God, still keep me useful. Don't let my life look like you have forsaken me. God, I want you to still be evident in my life. I want your power to still be evident in my life. And again, there may be some here today who are thinking, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how that would play out. But I think most of you probably have seen someone, maybe as you grew up, if you think back to your childhood in church, and I will tell you one that comes to my mind in my life, and that was Miss Jenkins. Is a lady in the church I grew up in that she. Even as she got older and maybe couldn't do some of the things she one time did. I remember seeing her in that nursery rocking kids, seeing her working at Bible school. She may not could do some of those things anymore. But when you saw her in the store, if you saw her out and about, she still had a smile on her face. She still would talk to you about the Lord. She may not could run Bible school anymore, but she hadn't quit serving God. There was no doubt that even in her old age, God had not forsaken her, and she had not forsaken him. And so, I hope maybe there's somebody like that. I could name some others in my life. I think of some even in my church today who maybe not be able to perform and do some of the things, some of the work, some of the labor around the church that they one time could, but they find somewhere else to fit in. They find somewhere else to contribute, and there's no question that they're still serving the Lord, and so. This morning, that's my challenge to you from this text, is that we would, as long as we have life in us, no matter how gray the hair gets or how much the hair turns loose, no matter how stooped over, how bad we hurt, the arthritis, the rheumatiz, all those things, no matter how much that creeps in, that we'll be like David and we'll pray, Lord, don't cast me off. Don't forsake me. I don't want my enemies to be able to speak against me, and ultimately to be speaking my life to give them ammunition to speak against you. I want to serve you right up to the day that you take me home. I want to be in some way. I may not can do what I used to do, but some way, somehow, Lord, I want to serve you right up until the day, till my dying breath. I hope that's your prayer. I hope that's every believer's prayer this morning, just like David. Lord, don't cast me off. Even when my strength starts to fail, hold me up and keep me strong so that others will see you in me. Pray that prayer with me today. Pray that prayer that the church, that believers would have that desire, that attitude to serve Jesus till the day he comes or the day I leave. That's my desire. All right, you have a great day, and we'll see you back here first thing tomorrow morning.